I'm so excited to be meeting you on video today to talk about our new book, Ocean.
Hello, Stacy. I'm really excited to be speaking to you about our new book, Ocean, because it was one of the funnest books I've ever drawn.
Aw, you say that to all the authors, I'm sure.
I really, really do not say that to all the authors.
Well, I'm excited to be working with you again. Of course, we did Earth, which I think was an important book and has been more successful than I could have dreamed of. So
Wow.
yeah, I think it's been really fun. So let's talk ocean. So we're gonna ask each other some questions. Is what we thought we would do. Kind of an interview each other. This is, like I said, the first time we've ever spoken. We've done Twitter and that kind of thing.
I feel like I know you, Stacy, so it's a lovely thing, really.
Yes, absolutely. So the first thing I wanted to ask you to do is, it's called Ocean Waves for All, but we use the word dude a lot in the book. So can you give me your best dude?
Absolutely. Now, I'm obviously British, so when I say dude, it probably sounds quite posh, but I'm going to try. Okay. Dude. Let me try it again. I'm going to try it with a bit more of a... So I grew up watching Bill and Ted and all these cool films. So I'm going to try Bill and Ted, dude. Dude!
Oh, that was really good. That was...
Michelangelo from the Turtles. Dude!
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Shall I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the reason we haven't met is because we are actually separated by a huge ocean.
Absolutely.
So I was going to ask you, out of all the places in the world, where would you like to travel, but you can only go by boat? So where would you like to travel to in the world by a boat?
By a boat. Where would I like to travel to? I think like Australia and New Zealand.
Wow, that would be quite a long boat ride.
It
though,
would
right?
be for me. I'm in North Carolina, so I'm not even sure which direction I would go. Under Africa or under South America.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we have lots of time right now, so maybe I could get there. But that would be a place I'm dying to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always wanted to travel from it would be from Dover to New York. I mean, it would take about 14 days, I think, but I just always imagined seeing New York appear over the ocean would be like a magical experience. So I think that's one thing I'd like to do.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Okay, my turn. Let's see. So when working on this book, was there anything that you learned, something you perhaps didn't know before you started the art?
I learned so much. I always learn so much from working on your books because they're so informative and obviously they're very fun and exciting to work on. But I always end up learning so much. But I mainly learned about the different levels of the ocean. What is it? The sunlight zone at the top. Midnight zone in the middle, but the trenches really intrigued me. Like the trenches right at the very bottom where there's no light at all. It's like complete darkness. I learned about those and what kind of the few very small amount of creatures that inhabit the trenches, the very darkest point you can be in the ocean. And I had so much fun drawing that. It sounds strange, even though it is completely black. I just had so much fun kind of thinking about the kind of shapes and the shadows that would be down there. So yeah, the trenches were an eye-opener, really, but yeah. I learned a lot. What did you learn? Did you learn anything whilst writing?
Same thing. I learned so much doing this. I start the book by basing it on what knowledge I have, which ends up being very limited. And then I have to do lots of research. I loved learning about the trenches too, how they could swallow Mount Everest. We could shove Mount Everest down there and not see it again. But what started me with this is how little we know about our ocean and our ocean floor and how we have better maps of the planet Mars than we do of the ocean floor. I mean, it's right for me, being a Carolina girl, it's, not that far away, and we know more about Mars, which is very far away. So I was just very intrigued by that, and hoping to get some young readers intrigued by that also. Like, what's going on under the waves?
Oh, I'm sure everyone who reads it is going to be intrigued by just how much, like you say, how much we don't know about the oceans. It's amazing, really.
Do you go to the beach?
Well, I live about so I live in England, and I live about as far away from the beach as you can be in England. But having said that, England is quite small, so it is only like an hour and a half away to get to the beach. So I like to go to the beach as much as I possibly can, yes.
And what do you do when you go to the beach? Are you a guy that's in the water, or are you on the sand, or a little bit of both?
Well, I am not a great swimmer. So I used to not like going in the water very much, but recently, now that I've had my two boys who just go straight into the water, I've kind of had to go into the water. So I do go more into the sea now, but I'm a bit kind of trepidatious and stuff. But I love it. I love the feeling of being. I don't think you can feel much. Or there's only a few other instances when you can feel so connected to nature, being in the water and being in the ocean. Even if I am just dipping my toes in.
Yes.
And just feeling those waves and feeling that rhythm, it's unbeatable.
The power of the ocean and the respect that nature and our planet deserves is just magnified anytime I step into the water, for sure.
Totally true. So no, I do enjoy going into the water, but it took me a while to fully kind of appreciate how lovely it is going into the water. So, Stacy, what is your favourite movie that features the ocean?
Ooh, good one. Oh, man. Well, I'm not going to say Jaws. You think water, and that certainly comes to mind. Castaway comes to mind. When Titanic came out, I was a teenager. So that one, I did fall in love with that movie. They're scary water movie, but I fell in love with that film.
With Jack.
And I mean, really, who doesn't go on a boat and go up front and say, "I'm the king of the world"? I mean, it's just iconic.
Absolutely. No, it's a great movie. I still watch Titanic. I love Titanic. I have no bones about sharing my love for Titanic.
Yes. All right, so let's pick a last question each. How about that?
Okay.
I'm going to make mine for you. Maybe, I don't know if this is an easy question or a hard question. I love all your art in here. I think you paint with light. My middle daughter thinks this is the most beautiful book of all the books I have written. She calls it the most beautiful. So we adore it. But what is your favorite spread or your favorite piece?
So I quite like, and it goes back to our conversation we were having about the unknown. I like the spread where it's like half the ocean and then half the space travel, so the rocket taking off. I just think that's a great way of sort of showing, how, we explore the stars and we explore space, as we quite rightly should. And we have so much knowledge about the solar system, whereas little is known about the ocean. I just thought that was a nice way of sort of getting that point across visually. And also I really like the way the reflections happen in that spread. So from a personal point of view, I was quite proud of that spread, how it looked and so forth. But do you know what? I had so much fun drawing every spread of this book. It was like I don't think I've smiled so much making a book before, because it was just so much fun with all the different fish and all the different kind of creatures and kind of sea life and vegetation and all the kind of stuff that happens down there. And you're right, absolutely, all the different lights and things.
Oh, the colors are amazing, and
it was really to work on, definitely.
Yeah. I love it.
Should I ask? Right, I'll ask you one last question. So this is book number 4, right? In the hour, we've got Earth, Moon, Sun, and Ocean.
Yes.
So what made you think that now was, or in the last couple of years, was the right time to start creating books like this about our universe?
So our universe kind of came about by accident. I consider these nonfiction, even though we tell them in a funny way and give a voice to the planet or the ocean. I had never done any kind of nonfiction, but as I wrote a fiction story about a pet rock that didn't work out right, I realized I didn't want to talk about. I have a rock. I didn't want to just talk about a rock. I want to talk about the rock we live on and how long it's been here and just the impact humans have had in the short time that we have been here. And that expanded into space. Like, we haven't had the impact on the moon and the sun, but what we've learned in a relatively short period of time is amazing. So I am amazed at what humans are capable of, both good and bad, and just the respect and what we get from nature and what we owe to nature. So I just find it inspiring and important.
Wow. Well, I mean, I love these books. They're fantastic, and I'm obviously so chuffed to be involved in the making of a few of them. They're fantastic.
Oh, I love doing them, and I love working with you, and your art is amazing, and I can't wait for people to check out this new one. I think they're going to be blown away. I hope so.
Me too.
So thank you very much. We will hopefully get to meet in person someday, but for now. Lovely. For now, it is a virtual meeting that has been great. Thank you so much for joining me, David.
No problem. See you soon. Bye.